Hello, I'm Beatrice Brinkley. I'm in the 10th grade, and I'm from Northside High School. And today I'll be reading you my Laws of Life essay. The quote that I chose is, "Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory." No matter how hard it was, my dad tried to please everyone in the family. He was an amazing lawyer, fantastic father, and a loving husband. He did have some flaws, like all of us do. For instance, a temper. However, his temper never changed. I remember the times we spent together. Now that I look back on our moments, I look back onto both our last and best moments, because whilst they are similar, they are not the same. When I was younger, around 8, my dad took us on trips to the library down the road. He let us rent movies instead of reading, which was fantastic. I, of course, chose my 2 favorites, Scooby-Doo and Air Bud. My dad was elated as he saw the movies I chose, considering he also enjoyed them. I sauntered to the car, movies in hand. Then, when I got home, I ran through the house to begin watching my favorite movies. Whilst my dad did not necessarily watch them with us, he did pay attention to us as we happily engaged with the movies. I hope to be back there. A few years later, around 10 or 11, my dad and I began watching sci-fi movies. We were the only ones in the family to like horror movies. The screen flashed bright red from the blood of the people killed, either by spiders eating them whole, yetis tearing their heads off, or Mothman cutting them up. Whilst my dad and I just sat in silence, bonding, as we both got scarred for life. I wish to be back there. Then, throughout middle school, we gained a new tradition of going to McDonald's after school for a McFlurry. We'd sit at the edge of the stools, right by the trash cans, watching the news as we ate. The only problem was that we had to go inside because my dad hated drive-thrus. Another great moment, as my dad, my brother, and I bonded over a tasty snack. I prayed to be back there. My dad suddenly became sick as time went on. We assumed it was the flu, but it lasted for forever. He finally got it checked out, though. Surprise! It was a cancerous tumor. We were devastated once we knew that my dad had pancreatic cancer. We began the battle to help him live. He went through chemo, which turned his feet raw, lost tons of weight, and always looked sickly. However, he was still lighthearted with his jokes. There were highs and lows as his health fluctuated. But as my 9th grade year started coming to an end, he was finally getting better. We were ecstatic. He beat cancer. He survived. However, the day of my 15th birthday, my dad spiked a fever and was immediately taken to the hospital in Atlanta. It was the last day I saw him. I knew the news about his health before it was delivered. I was right. He died Friday morning before Thanksgiving break. I was heartbroken. I need to go back to that morning, not to feel less guilty of not greeting him properly, but to see him one last time. I want to say I love you in person, not over the phone. After my family and I finally gained closure, I realized how much I would miss him. You will never see me graduate high school. You will never see me off to college. You will never see me get married. You will never see anything I do after that birthday morning. I want to go back in time to relive my favorite and last moments. However, I know that I cannot dwell on the past. Therefore, I must keep what I learned with me, because This experience has made me grow in unbelievable ways. When my dad died, I learned that sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory, by Dr. Seuss. I take this quote to heart either when I live in the moment, reflect on a memory, or when I reflect on how much I love my dad and how much more now that he's gone. Thank you for listening to my Laws of Life essay.